my loves, welcome back to Vlogmas day 11. Today is a bit of a different video. I've been reflecting and thinking that it's the end of 2025. I'm in full chill mode today, no makeup, I'm in my pajamas, I'm cozy, I've got a cuppa. I wanted today to feel like we're just hanging out as besties, because sometimes I just love watching a video like that. So this video is going to be all about how I make my mood boards, how I manifest for the year, and how I got everything on my mood board last year. So if that is something you're interested in, stay tuned, and also remember to subscribe. I just love a good cuppa. First of all, I want to just make it clear, you cannot hate yourself into someone that you will love. Doesn't work like that. You can't hate your body into a body that you'll love. You can't hate your job into a job you'll love. It just doesn't exist. You need to act with love, and love is doing the best thing for yourself and for your future, and that is what real love is, not comfort. Okay, we cannot mix up the two. You need to make sure you've got habits that are leading you to your goals. I feel like rebranding your life does not mean you need to become a different person. More like removing what's been weighing you down and leaning more into what's making you feel good about yourself. You can't look at your goal without understanding where you are now currently. You need to reflect on what your current situation is, and then your goal, and then almost work backwards. What habits can you incorporate to change? I'm a teacher, right? So when I'm planning a lesson, I need to think of the objective and then work backwards. That's the only way you're going to get to your goal, is by having a pathway and your dreams and making sure your habits align. The best thing that you can do is always keep your goals right in front of you so you do not lose sight. And I feel like people underestimate themselves, and people, when they're making their mood boards or when they're thinking what they can do, they're so quick to undersell themselves, to cut themselves short. Oh, I can't do that, but I could do this. Why aim so low? Okay, aim high. That's my best advice I'm going to give you. You need to just get rid of the fears that we so often just put on ourselves. So this was the mood board I made last year, and I genuinely have achieved and got these things that I put on here. Why? Because I made this, I stuck it up on my wall, and I looked at it every single morning, and I would think to myself, these are the things I wanted. My future self's gonna thank me for it, and I'm gonna do the things that align with these. Having it visual for me is just a really, really great motivator. Seeing something every day helps you stay on track. So I'll show you how I make my mood boards. I go on Pinterest, I get the pics that I like, and then I go on Canva. So what I do is I go on Pinterest, I think about my intentions. Is it that I want to be more disciplined? What am I trying to achieve with that discipline? Remember what I said, don't just aim low, aim high. I want to be disciplined because I want to achieve this body. So what I would do is health or wellness aesthetic, and then I would find a picture that aligns with that vision, what I associate with that intention. So then I begin to just saving different pictures that align with things that I want to achieve in 2026, or feelings I want to feel, or vibes I want to experience, and then I begin saving them. I do have a whole mood board called My Life with all the different things that I want to achieve. Pinterest is at Danielle L Gem, follow me on there. And I go over to Canva. Then when I'm on Canva, there's lots of free designs, and then you can just add your pictures in there. When you realize the life you want and you have it in mind, you can then start making small, consistent decisions each day that lead you to your goal. Are you going to sink or are you going to swim? Are you going to do what's right for your future, or are you going to stay comfortable? Because if you keep choosing to the most comfortable option, or you're not changing anything, you will have the same exact life. Start showing up as the girl who's gentle with herself but intentional. Every micro decision is going to lead you to your goal or lead you away. I would say how I achieve everything on my mood board was, first of all, I had compassion with myself. I took a good look at myself. I reflected on my past and things I had gone through, and I really said to myself, look, I can either I said to myself, I can either say sorry for myself and dwell, or I can make a change in my life and I can move forward. Because even if I'm moving forward 1 millimeter, still I'm moving forward, and over time it becomes easier. You cannot just overnight just say, oh, I'm a fitness queen and I go to the gym an hour a day and I do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster. No, you build up. When you're a baby, you don't just get up and walk, you crawl first. And that is what rebranding is, and that is what changing your habits are. It's going from crawling to the walking. You're gonna have to have that process. I literally just heard on a podcast the other day, Mel Robbins said, think about your goals, and if you're not willing to go for them for 10 years straight, then forget. You're gonna need to put in the groundwork. You might not even be aware, but you're already putting the work in to a certain extent now. It's just about excelling in that. How I achieved getting things on my mood board was because I just started believing in myself that I was going to achieve those things. Sometimes I'd be like wanting to just relax or wait to be inspired. But you know, one of my goals is to be a YouTuber, to have my 100k. And I just thought, I can either lay here now, be comfortable and doom scroll, but it won't change my life. I'm tired, but if I get up and I edit this video, if I get up and I plan and I make my video, I'm still one step closer. Whereas if I just went on my phone and did nothing, I'm nowhere close. I'm not moving, I'm stagnant. And the worst thing you can be is stagnant. Really just don't put any limitations on yourself. Some of the best books that I've read that filled me with confidence and allowed me to start achieving the things that I used to think were way too unattainable. The first one is The 4 Agreements. I feel like The 4 Agreements for me really resonated because I think I've been a really scattered kind of ADHD person where I would get a passion and I wouldn't be consistent with it. And after I read that, it kind of just like put a peaceful quiet in my brain. One of the agreements is that your word is impeccable. What you say and the power of the tongue is important, and that's one of the things that allowed me to achieve so much in 2025. When you believe that something is very attainable and you don't talk yourself out of it and you're so sure, you just naturally go that way. We put so many doubts on ourselves, and that's because when we're young we let people project their fears onto us. And I feel like when I read The 4 Agreements, I was like, I probably project my fears onto people, but nowhere near as much as people project their fears onto mine. And I don't want to be around people that project their fears onto me. You don't know what can happen. The world is full of possibilities. The most successful people were seen as crazy and delusional. Something I mentioned earlier was about working backwards. You must work backwards. If you want to have this body, and let's say you want to lose 10 kg, look at where you are, look at where you want to be, and kind of make a pathway and a plan. Be realistic with yourself, but be consistent. I read somewhere that the best way to incorporate a new habit is to add it to an existing one. So perhaps start taking your gym stuff with you. Go to the gym afterwards. I think the biggest part is enjoying the process. And I think when you have things visually, you just keep looking at them and keep reminding yourself, this is what I want and I will get there. I literally was thinking to myself the other day, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to give it my all and I want to get rich or die trying. Like, you know what, it's about time to put the work in. And I hope you guys do. I hope this video kind of inspired you, maybe how to rebrand your life, what ways you go about making your mood board. If you have any different tips, please let me know, comment below. Love you guys, bye, thanks for watching.